This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. The United States has announced the deployment of 1,000 additional troops to the Middle East in response to the heightened rhetoric from Iran. It has also produced new photographs that it says show Tehran was behind at least one of the attacks on tanker ships in the Straits of Hormuz last week. Iran said earlier on Monday it will surpass within 10 days the limit on the amount of enriched uranium it's allowed to keep under the international agreement, unless the other nations in the international agreement on its nuclear program help it withstand the impact of U.S. economic sanctions. The United States unilaterally pulled out of that international agreement last year. In early May, President Hassan Rouhani said Iran, in retaliation for that withdrawal, would stop observing restrictions on its stocks of enriched uranium and heavy water that was agreed to under the 2015 nuclear deal. Former Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi has died in court. State television reported on Monday. It said Morsi had fainted during a court session and died soon afterwards. He had been in court fighting charges of espionage. Morsi was already serving a 7-year sentence for falsifying documents during the 2012 presidential race. Hong Kong democracy activist Joshua Wong joined those calling for the resignation of Carrie Lam, the city's pro-Beijing leader, saying after his release from prison on Monday that he would soon join massive protests against an extradition law. Several hundred protesters were gathered around the entrance to Lam's office on Monday evening, demanding her resignation. For more on that and other stories, you can visit us online at voanews.com. And you're listening to VOA News. Britain's Prince Harry is speaking about a new initiative to clear landmines from a wilderness area in Angola. AP's Karen Chamas is going to report on that just a bit later. First, we'll talk about President Trump's second press secretary, Sarah Sanders, who is preparing to leave office. Her predecessor, Sean Spicer, gave VOA an interview on Monday. He said that regular White House news briefings should absolutely return. Spicer spoke to VOA on Monday and said the briefings are an opportunity for people to see the government in action and capture media attention in a way that nothing else does. The White House has not held a news briefing in more than 3 months. Sanders is leaving at the end of this month. She says she and other Trump administration officials make sure they're frequently available to media despite the lack of formal briefings. Spicer did say that daily briefings are not a necessity, and he added that the Trump administration has turned them into, or during the Trump administration, rather, they have turned into what he called media circuses. President Trump has not yet named a successor for Sarah Sanders. Britain's Prince Harry is speaking about a new initiative to clear landmines from a wilderness area in Angola, and now we have AP's Karen Chamas reporting.
In backing the $60 million initiative of the Angolan government and the Halo Trust, Harry continued to work on a cause championed by his late mother, Princess Diana. Harry recalled how she famously once drew attention to the African nation's dangerous minefields by stepping onto one.
In fact, I was told just the other day of the positive transformation in Huambo since my mother walked that minefield all those years ago. What is less well known is the impact landmines can have on conservation and wildlife, and therefore the economy.
The funds will be used to clear 153 minefields in an area with vital waterways to the Okavango Delta. Karen Chamas, London.
The founder of a Chinese telecom giant that has been blacklisted by Washington is speaking out. AP correspondent Matt Small reports.
Huawei's founder says it never occurred to the Chinese telecom company that the United States would be so determined to take extreme measures against it. Ren Zhongfei believes both sides will suffer and no one will win, adding the company's revenues will be $30 billion less than forecast over the next 2 years. And while it'll cut back capacity, he insists that restrictions put in place last month by the federal government, in his words, will not stop us. U.S. officials have accused Chinese telecom companies like Huawei of stealing trade secrets and threatening cybersecurity, possibly on orders of the ruling Communist Party. Matt Small, Washington.
The United States is reopening its permanent U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, office in Somalia 28 years after it closed. I'm Marissa Melton. This is VOA News.